I know what it's like to lose hope. And I know how different your life can turn out if you can't be pointed and guided and nurtured in a direction that's not pharmaceutical, that's not injections, that's not surgeries. I'm 46 and I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, born and raised. I think posture wise, my mom was always kind of the, shoulders back. So she would always say, you're slouching, you're slouching. It was just a thing for her. So I was always, trying to do that bad posture. I didn't know then. My first husband was in an accident. We were both in the military. I was reservist. He was active duty and he got in a car accident and broke his back. He was paralyzed from the waist down. So when I came back from the Army, I worked at the Officers Club. I kind of always used to do a little bit of clerical stuff. Computers then, back then, 20 plus years ago, were just kind of coming in, and I was young and good at them, so I kind of just fit well in that role. And then I started working at USAA, which is a big business here in San Antonio, and I worked at the computer help desk until my back was done, and at 30 I couldn't work anymore. So mine was an L4, L5 rupture. So basically the lower back, down the legs, into the calves, and I had lost feeling in my toes and that kind of stuff because I had surgery and did all of that, but it just didn't work. So I had the laminectomy first, about 6 months that worked. And then after that, I started getting the radiating pain down the leg. And the surgeon who had done my surgery, he's like, well, no problem. It's the disc that's causing issues. We'll just take that out. We'll fuse that level and you will feel grand. So I was like, okay, great. Let's do it. I had a little bit of relief in the beginning, but it was apparent to me that there's no way sitting at a desk all day was going to be good for my body. I mean, I guess it was the sciatic nerve, but it was the disc that started it all. After I had the first fusion, it was within a year that I started to feel pain in my legs in a different place. And then I go back and I find out that I've ruptured or that the disc below and then the disc above within a year were already bulging. Didn't know what else to try. Like, I had tried acupuncture in the beginning. I had tried every physical therapist, 5 different courses of physical therapy within a couple years. I'd given it everything I knew how to do, and I just didn't know what else to do. So I basically took enough drugs to keep me comfortable while still trying to be functional, being a wife and a mother and all of that kind of stuff. So that was my decade of darkness. And thankfully I saw the light where I just had enough. I didn't know how to live anymore in that level of pain. There was no place that was comfortable. There was no joy left in my life because all I could think about was the pain through my spine, and then it had started radiating up through my neck, my thoracic. My whole body hurt all the time. And so I would wake up and I would just be heaving and sobbing. And I was like, something is wrong. I don't know what else to do. All they want to do is give me for surgery. They wanted to fuse 2 or 3 more levels. And I'm like, no, something else. And, my pain management doctor would give me the injections, but, his steroid injections and trigger points, those were all wonderful, but they're not long-term. I just decided in that moment that I was going to try the things I had done before again, just so that way, if I had to have the surgery, I would at least know that I had done everything I could to avoid putting myself in a worse situation, because that was my nightmare. So that's what I did. And the next day I got online and it was just like acupuncture. I could feel healing going on in my body, and it got it to a level that was tolerable. Acupuncture has helped me manage it in a way that I can have a life now, a more limited capacity than I would maybe prefer. But what this did is it opened the door up wider. I went to the course, I came home, I was feeling pretty good. My husband and I had planned a week-long trip just up the road to Marble Falls, and I went hiking for the first time in probably 15 years. I remembered how much I loved it and how good it feels to stand in nature and just, wow, Lord, really? Whoa, this is in my backyard? What? And I never would have seen it because, I was afraid. And I also feel like it's given me the tools to, when I do experience pain, to realize there's something going on. And I mean, I only know this much. At that point, I said, okay, the thing that's next is I need to get rid of these drugs. I need to get rid of them all. I don't want to be on a single one. And I've been, pharmaceutical free for probably going on about 4 or 5 years now. But I've still had pain. Still been pain, but not to the level where every day was darkness. The Gokhale method, somebody had recommended this to me because, we were coaching together. I was life coaching her. She was health coaching me. She said, I heard about this and it might help you. And I was like, okay. I looked it up. I, watched some of the videos and I bought the book. Because it's a good investment for the class. So I thought, let me see what I can get from the $20 book first before I further the investment. And from the book, I was able to tell that it was something and it made sense with what I had been through and what they had tried to teach me and what was so different. Almost didn't go to the pop-up. Should I do it or not? She's here. And I was actually experiencing higher than normal pain, the most I had probably in a few years. And I was like, I really want to, but I don't know if I can. And so what I ended up doing is I had a daughter drive with me because I went to the one in Dallas. It was a 5-hour drive. By the time I went through the course, the pop-up course, I drove home and I was like, I don't believe this. My camel hump on my neck was gone. I mean, and I knew it was gone and I knew it was there. You know how you just question things like, how did that just happen? Because there's a pain relief cream that I use. And so I had rubbed it kind of like at the half point of the class because I was in pain and it helps me with my pain. So I had rubbed it on and I felt the hump. But by the time I got home, and I was like, hubby, do you feel this? Because I would tell him, can you rub the hump? Rub my hump back. And he, So, I mean, I knew big change. Nothing that I've done has ever made that kind of difference in such a short amount of time. And the book was great, but I really needed the hands-on, and I'm not done. I need to take the foundations next. Not that the process has been easy, because I feel like I'm constantly having to work on it, and I feel like I have so much more to learn, but to get such an immediate, bam, there, it's like, here, this is what it can do. You've still got to work harder. You've still got farther to go. But the hope, the injection of hope, that maybe I wouldn't at some point just be managing the symptoms of my pain with acupuncture and supplements, all the things, we try to do, but that this can build up to more as I go further in the process. I think it's probably that it's kind of comprehensive. It's for your whole body. It's not just one little aspect. I'm not just trying to give you great abs, it's working with the whole body in the way that it was designed to work. I think that's what makes it special. I want a body that doesn't limit my capacity to do what I want to do and what's important, and spending time with family and friends and not sitting there thinking, when can I go home because my back hurts so much I haven't listened to a word you said. To be able to actually enjoy conversation and interaction with people without my primary brain focus being the pain in my body. Yeah, I'd like to be able to share that and help people, save them from that decade of disaster. Yeah.